I don't know what it is, but this week I've been thinking a lot about the beginning of this pandemic. It was actually March 15th when we missed our first Sunday. 8 months to the day was when I felt the first of what would become many seismic shifts in my day-to-day life. No doubt many of you felt the same when you encountered your own roadblocks and shifts while dealing with a virus running rampant. Be it the quarantining, or closing businesses, or homeschooling, or even your trips and your parties or events canceled. Our routines were broken on March 15th. And for me, 8 months ago, I was left in fear, wondering how I could lead a church that I couldn't gather. Jesus tells us a story. The kingdom of heaven will be like a wealthy man that is going away. And he entrusts his possession to 3 of his slaves. He gives them talents. To one he gives 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. That's interesting. We actually derive our understanding of the word talent directly from this story. You know talent as a skill, as an act in which we excel. But back then, a talent was a large sum of money. 1 talent was worth nearly 20 years' wages. These were vast sums of money. One can assume each slave was entrusted with a value well beyond what they could truly comprehend. But isn't that true for all of us? Aren't we entrusted with things that seem disproportionate to what we think of ourselves? Each of you have a role that you play, where others rely on your good use of your talents. Be it your job, where others rely on your day-to-day tasks being completed, or your family, where you take care of a child or a parent or a sibling, or even a friend, or even an organization that you support with your time by volunteering or mentoring or coaching, to even what you do with your wealth. To be a part of this church, the mediator, means that you have recognized the importance of community, and thus others rely on your faithfulness. For that is what community is. It's a shared reliance. Each of you, are entrusted with a great value. Each of these 3 slaves, like us, had to choose what they were going to do with their talents. The first 2 go out, they trade, they invest, they work. And their stewardship of their talents double over time the value that which they were originally given. But the third, when he receives his talent, he became afraid. And he buried his talent, where he knew he could keep it safe, but where it would also never see the light of day. You see, that's what often happens when fear gets to us. We bury our talents. That day, 8 months ago, I was fearful. I sat in the back pew of an empty church that Sunday morning, wondering how my talents could be used when all sense of occupational normalcy had been stripped away from me. And for a bit, I have to be honest, I thought about folding. I thought about just waiting it out like the 3rd slave, burying my talent for the duration of the pandemic and hoping it would be there to resurrect when the pandemic was over. Fear nearly got the best of me. But mediator, you challenge people to exercise their talents. You accept and nourish people's gifts, and you empower curiosity, which leads those who would normally be drawn into fear to instead act. You challenged me to act that day when fear was setting in. And I made a video. And with my heart beating fast, I posted some thoughts to Facebook. And the most amazing thing happened. You then reciprocated with your comments. And together we began this holy dialogue in a way that we never had done before. And that's our challenge, isn't it? How do we turn away from the fear that would have us bury our talents? As a church, how do we promote possibility and empower the fearful to instead dream? Because when we do not, when we choose to bury what has been given and trusted to us, we do not grow. When we live in this fear, we live deeper and deeper into the lie that tells us that we are not worthy of what we have been entrusted with. And this lie, it takes us deeper into the darkness that causes the weeping and gnashing of teeth. But this lie is not true. This lie that you are unworthy to use your gifts, that you are not capable of what the Master has entrusted you with, don't believe it. Instead, dream. Have faith that you are capable of growing your talents. Have faith that you can try something new. Have faith to wonder. Because for those who dream, for those who utilize their talents, the story says that they will be welcomed into joy. And that's our good news. That's what God wants for each of us. He wants to welcome us home, saying, "Well done, good and trustworthy servant. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your Master." I love that. I love you. God bless you. And goodbye for now.